CES coverage sponsored by GoDaddy.com, the leader in domain names, web hosting services. New customers save 25% by using promo code CES25 at GoDaddy.com.
CES coverage sponsored by Audible.com, where books come alive. Listen to a bestseller on your iPod or MP3 player. You can get a free trial over at audiblepodcast.com.
CES coverage sponsored by Lexar Las Vegas. Get to the point. Rooms start at $40. See tpn.tv for Lexar advertisement, which is the gateway to savings.
And we have with us here Peter Whitman from DataLocker. How you doing, Peter?
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and explain what you have here for us?
Sure. What we have here is an encrypted portable hard drive. It's a USB 3 product, so we're connected here through a USB 3 cable.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to zoom out so we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can see it.
I can do the demo here. I don't know what kind of angle you got over
there. Okay, yeah, that's good. So basically what you've got, we're plugged into my USB port here.
Correct. And actually, let me grab my RFID card out here.
All right.
So the DataLocker is...
It's okay.
So the DataLocker is... we're offering military-grade encryption on here, 256-bit AES encryption. The uniqueness in the product is that it's entirely platform-independent. There's no need for software or drivers to be installed to run.
Okay.
We're offering 2 factors of authentication. The first factor being an RFID. So you first authenticate the user by RFID. They then will input their passcode, which can be up to 16 digits, actually entered on the device itself.
Jack, can you bring up the display?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's flipping it now.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
There we go.
Okay, so then after entering the passcode, your computer's just going to mount the drive like it would any other USB mass storage device.
It sure is.
Right? And so the beauty of this is as soon as you disconnect, your data is entirely secure, 256-bit AES encryption.
Right.
So let's say you have an office in Los Angeles and you need to send data to New York. Right?
Yep.
You can send the drive through the mail, call up with your passcode, they can enter the passcode in, access the data. A couple of other neat features that are there. We have a self-destruct mode. So after 9 attempts on guessing a passcode,
yep.
The drive would actually self-destruct the data on the drive.
That's cool.
We have a feature for rapid redeployment, so you can change the encryption key on the fly on the drive, so IT departments could redeploy the device right away.
I think, did you guys have a product at one time that you used a fingerprint to do the...
Yeah, no, we've actually tried to stay away from biometric.
Really?
We see the best, what we see as the best method of security is going to be a really strong password.
It's a strong password.
Right. So with biometrics, you're not able to share the data. So biometrics assuming that the data, you're going to be the only person that needs to ever have access to that data, right? So...
and basically what it's done here is the computer's come up and said the device is ready, and I have a, let's see here, do I have a new drive?
Yeah, you should see a DataLocker drive connected there.
Okay. The computer is refreshing.
So right now the data and encryption stuff is in the drive itself. So you actually, as you showed before, which I don't think we had on the air, but you actually entered the number into the top of the drive.
Correct. So yeah, we're authenticating on the device. We're doing all the encryption on the device. So there's no performance degradation. We're actually also using, this is actually our new DL3 model, which we're just launching here at the show.
Right.
And we're actually using the latest XTS mode of the AES encryption algorithm. Mm-hmm. And that's a step up from CBC mode. CBC mode had some performance issues to it, in which you would see some greater performance lags through the encryption process. XTS is more performance oriented, and so you're going to even see less performance degradation now with the XTS mode running. So,
okay, so what would be the advantage of this over just doing? You can get encryption products right now, like you get a Western Digital drive, and you do a backup and stuff, and you can make it encrypted. So it seems like it's safe and it has AES encryption.
Right. Most pieces are going to have a software component to it, right? So if you're wanting to access the data, you're going to have to first install the software on the computer you're wanting to utilize.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This is entirely platform independent, so I could take this out, I could go plug this into my Mac,
yep.
run the drive. You can actually, on here, you can partition in multiple partitions here. You can have an HFS format partition on here for your Mac. You can have NTSF for a PC. And you can actually have multiple partitions on here. You can boot off the drive as well. So if you actually want to have a self-contained operating environment, you can have OS X on here and plug it into your station, boot off the drive, and you're going to have a fully encrypted operating environment that is completely independent and secured from the PC itself. So,
so does the encryption, the same encryption and the same thing that you'd use to unlock it, apply for all the partitions?
Correct. Yes. Yeah, so it's just a single, once it's been authenticated, you're going to have full access to the drive.
So if I wanted to boot off this drive, I'd plug the thing in, I would then have to enter my code to it.
Correct.
Then it would be seen as a drive and a bootable drive.
Correct, yes. So the only limitation would be if whatever operating system you'd be using, which isn't a limitation in OS X or in Windows 7, is if it somehow wouldn't allow you boot from a USB device.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I have found is that I've traveled with a secure hard drive for years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not for years, for a couple of years. And the reason is because I spent over 100 days a year in hotel rooms, in airports. So I'm on the go a lot. And the number one thing that's always stolen in travel is laptops.
Right.
So I have absolutely none of my critical data from my Word documents, anything with finance. I mean, literally, I do not store any media whatsoever that is identifiable on basically on the hard drive on the computer itself, mm-hmm. because that is always at some point can be accessible if it's taken. With this drive, if someone even stole my computer bag,
right,
and took the computer bag, they'd have the laptop, and they'd be able to get access to it, reformat it, but still the data in there, unless they are geniuses and have me held hostage, they're not going to be able to open that drive up without that key code.
Exactly. And adding the second factor of authentication, let's say your RFID card's not even in your computer bag, right? So then you have even a more secure layer. So without that RFID, they're not going to even get to the point of being able to guess your password.
So there's a tie-in with an RFID. Is it that card?
Correct.
Is the tie-in?
Yeah, it's RFID.
So if you have the RFID card and you keep that in your wallet or wherever you keep that at, then you also use that in conjunction with the passcode.
With the passcode. So it's two factors of authentication now, right? So the RFID is an optional element. You can turn that off if you'd like.
Yeah.
And if you really were worried about security, you could ship the drive in one FedEx package, the RFID tag in another,
and then give the passcode over the phone.
That's right.
Yeah. So the two factors is one thing you have and one thing you know, which is the passcode.
Exactly.
Right.
And the passcode can be alphanumeric. It can be up to 18 characters.
Right.
So the strength of the password on the device is very strong as well.
So what happens if, in Todd's case, where the laptop bag gets stolen,
mm-hmm.
and they see this and they can't get access to it, so they start pulling the thing apart and they pull the drive out.
Right.
And is it actually encrypted on the drive? So even if you hooked it up to a different computer or analyzer, you would not be able to get the data?
Absolutely. So if they take the drive out, they plug it into another enclosure, throw it into another SATA port. They're going to be looking at a fully encrypted disk, 256-bit AES encryption.
Just garbage.
So unless they have a supercomputer that they're working with and they know how to crack the AES
and a lot of time,
government-grade encryption, they're going to have some trouble.
Okay. And so what does it come in terms of capacities, and what is the price point for those?
So we have three different varieties. We have a solid-state variety. It's an expensive option for those that need solid-state. So we have a 128 gig solid-state option. I believe the price on that's $799.
Well, solid-state's expensive anyway.
Yeah, and we have a 500 gigabyte capacity, and then we have a terabyte capacity. So 500's at $299, a terabyte's at $499.
And they're available now?
Correct. So we have a previous generation model, which is actually FIPS validated. Has gone through the FIPS validation process. This is a model we're just now releasing now, which we will be shipping in March. So our previous generation model is available now. The DL3, which we're launching now, will be available in March.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know, having traveled international, there's nothing more scary than having the custom agent pull your laptop out of your bag and going into a back room while you're standing there waiting. There's nothing you can do. Generally, they won't notice this, but they'll take the laptop and they'll go, and who knows what they're doing with your laptop behind closed doors, and they may come back an hour later, give your laptop, you clear customs, you're on your way. So, you know, even for international travel, for business people, trade secret stuff, you know, there is all kinds of reasons to travel with a secure drive. Mm-hmm. And I've done it for a couple of years. The device I have is not DataLocker, but what I really like about this is the tie-in to the RFID.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like that double authentication.
The two factors. Now, if you actually had multiple drives, would you use the same card, or can you actually associate the card with the device?
Yes, you could. Yeah, you could have the same card paired with multiple devices. You also can manually key in the RFID identifier number.
I see.
Okay. So you would want to, in case you lose the card,
That's right.
You'd want to have. I think it's what is it?
Is this like
16 characters?
But most businesses will have an IT department that'll probably have these on file, because obviously if someone forgets their password or something, they don't want to have the drive to be, have to to basically brick the thing.
Right, and there is an administrative password that IT departments can assign to a device so that they can have control of the device.
Is this a secure RFID card or like maybe a 14693?
Gosh, I don't remember the exact spec on that. I don't believe it is a secure RFID card. So RFID card as a single factor is not secure, right? But as a second factor, it adds a.
It's like having two things. You have something that has a very long number to it that'd be hard to guess. Then also another factor, which is something.
Exactly. So so someone could steal the card off of you, but if they don't know how to get the code from your brain, the code that's on your, that only you know, then the data is still inaccessible to them. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So in terms of you asked, is it available now? They can actually order direct through the website, which is DataLockerDrive.com.
Yeah, I was actually bringing the website up now. That was maybe I didn't get the DataLocker.com.
DataLockerDrive.com.
There we go. Someone's sitting on the domain you guys need, yeah?
Or server not found, so maybe it's available.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. So that's up, Jack, on the website. So again, DataLockerDrive.com. Lots of different devices and services, and of course, you were a 2009 CS Innovation Award winner as well. So got a little bit of that. But well, thanks so much for coming out and sharing this with us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Like to see where the product's going and what's next for DataLocker?
Well, we have some interesting products in the pipeline. We're doing some stuff for what we're calling a strong box for the PC, which is hardware-based encryption. It's actually a pre-boot, pre-authentication, full disk encryption for a system. We're working on a militarized version of our product. So, we're geared towards the government. We're geared towards business.
Right.
It's not a consumer-oriented product as much. Many people won't pay. Won't pay for the peace of mind to have their data secure. But there certainly are individuals who are interested in that security in the consumer
I'm going to tell you, lose a laptop one time. And have it in somebody else's hands, and your whole attitude on this will change in an instant.
And have your data in somebody else's hands.
That's right.
Sure, that's a scary thing.
Very scary.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much,
Excellent.
sir.
Thank you
Thanks
very much
for coming out.
Okay.
Yep.
Peter, thank you for coming by.
All right.
We can go back to the hotel room, and I can show you. You got it tethered so it can't go away.
He wants to keep it.
No, so and I understand the dual security layer and putting in the password. That's because sometimes even when the one I have, I have to swipe my finger, and it takes 3, 4, 5 times before it finally detects it. And I feel that's a secure device, but definitely hear that they've been around a long time. So
they
people
sure have. Well, I like the idea that it has the RFID, or at least a second factor of authentication. Plus, all the stuff is done on the drive itself. You're not relying on a software driver that you have to load or a program you have to load. So you can take it over to somebody's computer and be able to install it and actually check out and remove some files, and then you pull the drive off, and it's totally secure again.
That's right.